is Monday night.
We're here.
Yes, we are. November 1st.
It is November already. It's double feature night.
It is
the entire broadcast or whatever this is called.
And you're actually going to be here for us. You're not going to leave. You're not going to go get a better offer and leave us.
It was a last minute thing. I apologize.
74th episode tonight of the EriDan Film Festival, inching closer and closer to that 100th episode.
And the 100th film.
Oh, we're going to be at the 100th film before you know it. Yeah, we are.
Well, before we're at the 74th episode, we'll be.
Well, that's absolutely true. But yeah, this is actually tonight. We are watching our. Let me get this right. Our 92nd and 93rd movies that we are talking about tonight.
So by the end of 2021, we will hit 100 movies.
Oh, absolutely! It'll be mid-Christmas movies. Will be our 100th movie, and tonight, a double feature of Disney Plus proportions. Brought to us by Wade Ryder. So and I believe that all the writers are together tonight, it sounded like. So we get to bring them in before we introduce our movie. And so let's bring in the writers. Stacy, Wade, and Reagan are here on the show, and they cannot hear Dan.
We're okay right now.
Now you're okay?
Yeah.
Whenever I log on, it'll be a problem after that, though.
We don't know why.
Well, that is so weird, but we are so glad you could join us tonight, especially since these are Wade's movies.
Yeah.
Although I do approve of both of your selections tonight. A Disney Plus double feature. Well done. Yes. Well done. And so, so Dan, we did not mention that other people who maybe have never been on the show can also join us tonight.
That is very true. And the way that works is you just go to eridanlive.com or heridan.com or eridan.xyz. Any of those will take you right to this crazy place. Right here in StreamYard is the service that we use. And you can get your camera set up, and your a makeup person will come in. They'll do makeup. They'll do hair. It's amazing.
It is amazing. It is impressive. Speaking of hair and makeup,
food. Oh yeah.
I'm sorry, Dave. This conversation can serve no purpose anymore.
Horace,
howdy.
How are you?
All right.
Good. Did you have a lovely week?
Good enough. I mean, nothing out of the ordinary, really. Just
enough. You survived the double feature.
Not every week can be disaster, and not every week can be spectacular. So most weeks you just tread water.
Well,
that will be on your tombstone.
Mm-hmm.
That is.
You'll have a huge tombstone.
That is, as opposed to. Actually, it's funny. I just realized both of our movies end with tombstones of the main character. So there we go. That was a lovely tie-in. So Wade, which movie would you like to discuss first tonight?
He's too busy eating.
I know.
Well, speak. Black Widow.
You have to hold it up in front of him.
All right, Black Widow first. We're gonna start with the Marvel. I don't know, the movie that should have been shoved into phase 4, Black Widow, registered as a 2021 movie, PG-13. She's done running from her past. Starring Scarlett Johansson, Florence Pugh, Rachel Weisz, Dave Harbour, Ray Winston, and William Hurt. A budget of $200 million. Worldwide gross $380 million. Critics at a 79, audience at a 91. And we're gonna get into some conversation, but we got to let Cody in because Cody has come in to join to talk about Black Widow. Cody.
Hello.
That's right.
No fake kicks, Cody.
No, never again, please, dear Lord.
It's had nothing to do roughing the passer, but they should have at least done roughing the kicker.
That non-call was just weird. The one article I read said they didn't realize he could be a passer, so they didn't call it.
Whatever.
But they're still rough.
Anyway.
Are you talking about sports?
Oh, sorry, Eric.
I'm
Steelers
literally 5 seconds off of ending my Steelers podcast, which is why I was late.
And where can people find your Steelers podcast?
Right now, we just tried to record our first YouTube podcast. We don't know if it's going to work yet, but we're on iHeart. I think we're on iHeartRadio. We were on Spotify, but it hasn't been uploading. We're trying to figure that out. And then also the big one is Apple Podcasts and Podbean.
And Steelers by the Lake. Is that
Steelers
right?
by the Lake, because we're by Lake Erie.
Can
And
I-
our
Talk
logo,
about the Steelers.
our logo even has the Bicentennial Tower from Erie in it.
Oh,
Can I
see.
suggest a thing to you there,
Go
Cody?
for
This
it.
is totally unrelated. Anchor.fm.
See, we've talked about that one. We
You
use
put it on there,
Podbean
you're,
right now.
you're everywhere.
That's
Like,
what Podbean does for us too. It just been it used to do it really well, and now it's having
Uh-huh.
issues the last like 2 episodes. So
Podbean.
All right. Well, there you go.
All right.
So those people who are interested in starting a podcast,
There you go.
we're helping you out there. Okay, so Wade, besides the oh man, people keep there's Reagan. Let's just bring Reagan in. She got her intro already.
Okay.
Hey, Reagan.
Hello.
So wait, what do you like across the sofa from your parents?
Pretty much.
That's perfect. Nice.
I don't know why that's hysterical.
Right. They're in different time zones. It's okay.
I like it.
All right, so Wade, Black Widow. Besides the helicopters, why did you choose this one as one of your movies?
No, there was
Feedback.
Oh, StreamYard's having problems picking up
Oh.
you on both mics. What, did you mute him, Dan?
I muted her. Stacy, you have to unmute yourself.
okay. Oh, that's
There
it.
you go.
you got to. I think you got to mute Reagan.
There we go.
There you go.
Okay.
All right, Wade, let's hear it.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
there was a lot of Marvel in there that was pretty interesting in this movie. Like you had Lexi and Milena, I think was her name, the mama,
Yelena.
and
Not the
Melina.
mama.
and the sister Elena.
Yelena.
Yeah?
Yeah,
A lot of
it was-
Lenas.
and then there was a helicopter in there, and I think that's probably what half the budget probably was, is buying that whole helicopter. And then yeah, I mean, it was just a good adventure.
Well, I agree. Was this anybody's first time for seeing the Black Widow movie?
Oh.
Whoa, Dan, Dave. Whoa,
I
we
mean, it
definitely.
just came out a few months
First
ago.
time, please.
Yeah, Cody and I are experienced viewers of the Black Widow movie. I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if Wade had seen. Oh, I've got issues trying to share a screen, so I can't do that yet. And so we'll go and ask Dave, since this was your first time. Do you have thoughts you would like to share?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's near the bottom of the heap of Marvel movies, which doesn't mean it's bad. It's not bad, but it's near the bottom of the heap of MCU movies. I'd put it ahead of Incredible Hulk.
I'm going to hear that at least.
I might put it ahead of The Dark World. It's definitely bottom 3 or 4, though.
Wow. Wow. See, and I'll be honest with you. My first time seeing it, I was not as enamored with it.
And I liked it. Don't get me wrong. I liked it. It just, compared to some of the great movies in that universe, it really fell short.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Dan, what was your takeaway? I know
Well,
you
I
started
love Marvel
watching
movies.
it. You started watching it and then stopped watching it
I
for
watched
like
it in
days.
pieces, and yes, I did get a complete watching in. Keep watching in. Yeah, I mean, I missed the Marvel, cinematic universe. It was nice to see, knowing where this should have been, and I think it would have been better to see it in the theater. I did not see it in the theater. I just saw it online. I also love that this was when Julia Louis-Dreyfus was first supposed to be in it, not in The Winter Soldier. That was her second appearance, but these got reversed. But other than that, I liked it.
Now I will say I did. It seemed like I did like it a lot more the second time around.
And I do agree with that. And
I think it's a little bit as the story plot a little better then. So there might have been a little bit of that they could have probably done better, but I think
this was my third time through, and every time I've enjoyed it more.
yeah.
Only 3?
Only 3. Can you believe that?
I mean, look behind him. That's not blue screen. Those are really behind him.
Yes, they are.
Listen, if I had a life-size Yelena, she'd be right there.
I did bring some props. I brought in some extra stuff. What I was trying to share, which I don't seem to, I'd have to get out of
Sure, not working.
share. Well, because this is a different computer than normal. And so I hadn't enabled screen sharing, and it wants me to reboot Chrome.
Oh.
I'd have to jump out to be able to share. So I have a few Black Widow items in my collection.
Just a couple.
I brought a couple to show in case you're ever looking in the market. If you really did enjoy the movie, you want to make sure you pick up. Let me see if that's going to focus. There it is. It's the Black Widow perfume.
God.
It smells exactly
I'll
like
buy that
electric
from an
youth.
ex-girlfriend.
Is that sweaty leather?
Or if you enjoy, there's a Matchbox car. I have no idea. I mean, she doesn't have a car in the movie.
Yes, the Black Widow mobile.
It is the Black Widow mobile.
Yeah, she usually just flies, so it's like.
And this is from there's a show. This is Black Widow as a cat. I have no idea. Why.
Reagan's face right now.
There's a symbol. And I put the little charms around its neck because of course it's much more a collector's item that way.
Yeah. And you have to store your charm bracelet somewhere.
And there is, and I have this downstairs, but I didn't bring it up. It's the helicopter from the movie. It's not actually the helicopter from the movie, but they have a Lego set of the helicopter from the movie, which is it's pretty cute. It's the wrong color, which I don't understand why they couldn't have made it movie accurate, but they do. So are there any pure comic nerds in here who had issues with Taskmaster?
I didn't have an issue with it. I understand what you're asking. My reason for not having an issue with it is because I love that Marvel in the MCU, they're committed to not telling the same story twice. So there's always something new. Granted, I kind of saw it coming, but that's beside the point.
Yeah, and also, Taskmaster was never a villain that I hung that much weight on. There's some villains in the Marvel universe in the comics that are so iconic, like Dr. Octopus or Kang the Conqueror or Dr. Doom, that you can't really change them too much, or you're really throwing out a really iconic character. Taskmaster to me was never to that level.
See, and I never was aware of who that was, but I have heard a lot of the kerfuffle about the fact that, Taskmaster was a long-term villain who was kind of a wisecracking, hilarious type villain, and was a guy.
Deadpoolish.
Very Deadpoolish, right? And kind of reduced to
a puppet.
Silent puppet, right? And,
What? She said a word or two.
She did get a go, No, so Cody and I briefly talked last week about the performance of Florence Pugh in this movie.
Briefly.
The casting was the strong point to me. The casting of the movie
does run away. She gets some of the best lines. She has a wonderful character. She has a nice arc through this movie, maybe even more than Black Widow.
Mm-hmm.
And then David Harbour was there for the comic relief.
Yes.
That's one thing I think at the very end, at the Easter egg at the end. The first time I was kind of like, but after the second time, I'm thinking like, that would be kind of interesting. Her and Hawkeye, and then he got along so good with, they had a good relationship with his sister, or her sister, and so that might be develop something there to go on for a few more movies down the road.
Well, and you sort of also have, there was always the problem with any superhero team in Marvel or DC of the massive imbalance of powers.
Yeah.
You can have the Hulk in the same team as Hawkeye, Black Widow in the same team as Thor. So the way you do it is you sort of have these sub-stories, and Black Widow and Hawkeye sort of do belong at the same level.
Yes.
Power-wise.
Yeah. I mean, one of the issues, I don't know if it's an issue per se, but like, it's hard when you go back and make a movie and try to wedge it into a timeline that already exists. Right.
Yeah.
Because then you lose some continuity between the movies you have, and I feel like, and maybe and some people hate this, but in Captain Marvel, you have them be like, oh, now you got to see like what Coulson was like when he started, and you got to learn how, what happened to Agent, to Nick Fury's eye, right? And this movie is like, oh, you get to find out where she got the vest. Really, that was like the big takeaway from this movie.
Well, that was actually true of both movies this week. Again, they were both sort of prequels kind of thing.
Yes,
they took place earlier in the timeline of later events that we're all aware of.
And then you question, well, what, there's no reference to those in Infinity War or Endgame, and the Black Widows don't show up to fight Thanos or whatever, and not that everybody's obligated, but you do, you lose some of that continuity when everybody shows up to fight the big bad at the end of Endgame. You don't get anybody from this movie because they already made Endgame.
Yep. I could see them editing it. No, I'm just kidding.
Wait for the Zack Snyder cut.
No, I think both of these movies could have used a little bit of editing. I don't think they were overly bloated, but cut an additional 10 minutes off of each, and I think they both would have been better movies.
Well, I'm just in shock. This is the first time, I think it's the first time we've done a current year movie, and we ended up doing 2 of them.
Yeah.
And they were within a minute of each other in length.
Yeah. They're both 2021 films.
It was very interesting.
Listen, when Eric and I were talking last week, and he was talking about the making of the Black Widow. If you haven't watched that on Disney Plus, you need to.
Yes.
I was literally in the middle of watching that, and I was like, I'm doing it. And I messaged Florence Pugh on Instagram, and she'll never open it, but I don't care.
Well, yeah. But when we were watching that, your sister Eric said Eric would have never watched. You are so spoiler averse, and that is just an hour of nonstop spoilers.
Oh yeah, no, I couldn't have watched it before watching the movie.
But you recommended we all watch it before watching it.
No, I just
Yes, you did.
watched it.
You said we should watch it before we saw it.
I assumed everybody had already seen it.
Watch it before you watch it again. He forgot.
Yes, that's what I meant. I meant to say watch it before you watch it again.
Yes. Oops.
It is a little spoilery.
A little?
A little.
I die at the end.
Inspired milk.
Yeah.
Yeah, that might have been my bad. Sorry about that. No, I watched it. I said, I don't know, maybe, and perhaps I did, but I had watched it before I watched it again, and I found it, because I sort of had the same reaction you did the first time after I watched it, where it was like oh, yeah, all right, but after watching the special and then watching it the second time and then watching it a third time, it's grown on me quite a lot.
Well, yeah, you also have a built-in reason to like it.
Yeah, but I didn't love everything they did with her character, and I felt that there was more opportunities there. So it's not Iron Man. I'll give you that. It's definitely not.
Well, no,
it's not the top 5.
The best of the MCU movies really surprise you, and this never really surprised me.
Yeah. Agree.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have 5 freaky facts for each movie because I figure, we don't want to go for 9 hours. And we do have a special, and we do have a special wheel thing to do this evening.
Oh, it's
going to talk later.
We're going to get wheel.
But there's a couple of things that are interesting. Like, I always love it when actors play, like, the ages in real life are just not realistic.
Mm.
And David Harbour and Rachel Weisz play Scarlett's and Florence's parents. In real life, they're 9 and 14 years older than Johansson, so they probably couldn't really be their parents. Although they're adoptive parents, so I guess.
Although Harbour does look old enough to be her.
He does, but Florence, they're 20 and 25 years older than her, so she's quite a bit younger than Scarlett.
Well, Scarlett's been doing this character quite a while now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And she might be the youngest person named Florence. I think Florence Henderson.
You'll have to Google that.
That was Wade's grandma's name.
Well,
See my point exactly.
Yeah.
Now, if she had been an Ultron, would they have called it
older than Florence Pugh?
Yes, may the Florence be with you. And this is the 24th film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And as Eric mentioned, it was supposed to kick off Phase 4.
Oh.
Yeah.
But it didn't. WandaVision kicked off Phase 4.
Correct.
Well, it would have been weird for this to kick off Phase 4 anyway, because it doesn't really fall in any phase, because it is sort of a prequel kind of thing. So it
is, but the very end, the post-scenes credit shoots it into the new phase.
Yes, that is true.
Yeah, and that's I think how they rate it. I think it goes by the post scenes credit.
Mm.
I've decided anything I ever do.
Ignore the 2 hours and 15 minutes. Pay attention to that.
I don't know if I buy that, but yeah.
I just think that the Marvel did a wonderful thing by making people watch credits again, because if you go back, as we mentioned here, we learned on this show, who let the dogs out? As we learned on this show, Star Wars was the first movie not to have all the credits before the movie.
Mm-hmm.
It was always credits, and at the end of the movie it said the end.
Mm-hmm.
And then they flipped it, and now all the credits at the end, and nobody watches them. So Marvel actually makes it so you do. So anything I ever do, I'm going to have post credit scenes. That way, people have to watch it. That's all. And a small cast.
And how many minutes were the credits for Black Widow? About 12 to 15 minutes.
Well,
Yeah.
if you're watching it on Disney Plus, they have all the foreign language credits after the main credits.
You get those extra little bonuses in there.
Adam's like, I'm here. What movie you're discussing? The answer is yes, madam. This was a bottom rung MCU movie for me. Didn't seem like Marvel movie at all. Take out the Black Widow name, and you have never realized this was a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
I mean, to that point, Cody's being really quiet here. To that point, I think that every Marvel movie, every character in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, their movies do have their own tone to them. And so, I mean, I think that the argument is that the Black Widow tone was definitely supposed to be more spy thriller, more James Bond, like, not.
Yeah, but I did like the fact that they had her watching Moonraker, which is probably the worst Bond movie. I thought that was appropriate.
Oh, a little foreshadowing.
Ouch.
Which Star Trek would she be watching? The third one, I think.
Ooh, I don't know. Could be. Yeah, was that the Search for Spock?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it could be.
I'm quiet because I clearly do not fit into this conversation.
Oh no! I mean,
all these
just out of
viewpoints.
curiosity, Cody. That what MCU movies do you put at the bottom?
At the bottom,
Yeah,
hands down, the Thor: Dark World is probably the worst. And I don't think it's close. I'm trying to think of bottom three if I had to pick.
What about the Incredible Hulk? Because it's sort of an oddball because it doesn't even have the same casting.
I almost don't even include it.
Yeah,
but you have to include it.
I include it in the MCU timeline, but I don't include it in
in rankings.
Yeah, because it's. I mean, it would be down there too. It'd probably be. I would enjoy that more than Dark World. Rewatching that, and I'm trying to think if there was a third one that I would rank. How low I would rank.
I wasn't a huge fan of Ant-Man and the Wasp, even though I really liked Ant-Man.
Yeah,
it was a mild disappointment.
Oh, I've never been disappointed.
See, I thought those were good. I was better than Black Widow.
Well, I did too. I already said Black Widow is probably bottom three for me.
But you know what, though? Here's the thing. Every movie franchise, 24 of them. There's got to be a number 24.
Well, and
Yeah, true.
But that doesn't mean that it's the 24th worst. I mean, it's, there could be 24 great movies.
And none of them are bad.
Right.
None of them are Godfather 3.
I might think that this is pretty bad.
I would probably put Captain Marvel down there.
Oh, that's harsh.
Captain Marvel, I don't think I'd rank because I have only seen it once, and I'd need to see it again before I could rank it.
I didn't like Brie Larson's acting in it. I thought Brie Larson could have been way better. I've seen her act better than that.
I like Brie Larson.
I've seen Paper Bags act better than that.
Oh, hey now.
I'm joking.
And Adam said Age of Ultron. The only reason I would put Age of Ultron towards the bottom is because I felt like Ultron was too big of a villain to squash that quickly.
To have created and lost in one movie.
Marvel doesn't tell the same story twice. No, I'm sorry.
Ultron is sort of. I would agree with Cody on that because Ultron, even though I didn't feel strongly about Taskmaster, you could change Taskmaster up and it didn't bother me. Ultron was a villain over a lot of arcs in the comics, and to just throw him away in one movie was weird.
So you would have saved him for like a Thanos level?
Not
necessarily,
even.
but it would have had him be a recurring character. The way
it would have been nice to have one villain. I want one villain that you see in multiple individual movies.
You don't have to have every villain be the ultimate Galactus, Thanos kind of bad guy. Sometimes you just have the guy that's a pain in the butt.
You need a Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
Lex Luthor was in every
Yep.
Superman, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mr. Luthor.
Oh, you're doing your Ned Beatty?
My Ned Beatty impression.
Yeah, that's
Thank you.
He's famous for that.
Oh, my Ned Beatty. Yeah, I mean that's
Yeah,
right.
people come from
Do your
miles
Ned Beatty.
around
Do
for
your
your
Ned
Ned
Beatty.
Beatty.
Squeal like a pig. Oh, sorry.
Mr. Luthor.
Wow. Well, do we want to rate this one?
We're delivering a little. I'm sorry, a little different.
You think?
Yeah, we can rate this one.
All right.
The EriDan rating bot 6000. EriDan rating 6000. EriDan now activated.
So last week we saw Notting Hill come in at 81. And we'll see what happens this week with with Black Widow. Dan, I'm going to let you do. I'm not going to be able to update the graphic because I'm on a slightly different computer this week. So you're just going to have to trust me when I give you the scores of how they work out, and we'll just see if they happen to agree with what I think.
We'll start with the writers because that's who picked it.
So I definitely liked it. I would watch it again, and it has helicopters in it. So
it's so important.
Yay, helicopter!
It just seems to grab my attention. Because actually this morning one flew right over the house, and I walked out of the garage and waved at him. Whatever. Anyways,
That's how we live in the
come,
Rider House.
come get me. I would say I'm going to say 87
Because there's a helicopter. That's
because of the
why.
helicopter.
The helicopter. It was really a
82
nice
was
helicopter.
out.
That was a good helicopter.
The Tropic Thunder would be
Yeah,
high on your
it
list.
was.
I enjoyed
helicopters, but that.
I enjoyed when she hits the
I like the run out
ambulance.
of gas scene there. That was like
That's really
and
funny.
it could have been pretty close to that.
The
I like
skydiving
that.
through the open helicopter doors was a bit much, though.
Yeah.
I like this would be a cool way to die.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah,
Such a poser.
Such a poser.
her lines were phenomenal, and she is just the cutest thing, and I just love her. So she actually brought it up for me because I just didn't care.
We liked her before Black Widow.
Yeah, I liked her before Black Widow for other things, but this was. I didn't feel like it was a Marvel movie, and I Eric, you said that every movie, every character has their own feel in their movie or whatever, and I get that, but I didn't feel anything. I just thought this is a lot of violence. It was a good backstory. It was good to get their backstory, but now they're dead, and it's like. I just feel like, it's just so I actually am going to give it an 82.
82. That's not
But
bad.
she didn't give it the extra 5 for helicopters.
No, because I don't care.
You didn't get the helicopter points. That
I've
is a
lived by
problem.
the airport for
Your entire life.
4 years, so I think we're good.
Yeah.
We used to watch the air show from our backyard.
Yes,
we did.
We used to when they had them.
Yep.
We were there when that B-52 or no, the
Yes,
B.
we were.
Which
Ooh.
bomber was that? B-17.
Where's that
B-17 went over-
B-52? I would have
B-17.
died.
Bingo.
Rock lobster.
went over the hill.
Black
I
Lobster.
do not like B-52.
You see a faded sign at this. Go ahead.
Okay,
All
Reagan.
right, Reagan, save
Uh,
us.
so, I mean, I just thought about this, but I was thinking about this last night, or whenever we watched it on Saturday. To do with the helicopter running out of gas, the airplane from Ohio to Cuba would have run out of gas. That made me mad already. But anyway, that doesn't
They
matter.
could have stopped somewhere else.
Just a point. Well, they're on the run. Where are they going to stop? I don't know, but it bugged me. But
I don't
anyway,
know what's between Ohio and Cuba. There's got to be some place to stop for gas. We
maybe,
need snacks.
Disney
We need
World.
the fruit roll-ups. Go ahead.
But I don't know. The only thing that I really liked about it was Florence Pugh, and I like spy-ish stuff, as you can tell. Here is Chuck Bartowski, but it just didn't. It also didn't feel like a Marvel movie to me because of the placement, which like we've talked about countless times. Like it should have been before Infinity War. I think is the one, and so that was weird. But it just. I don't know. I don't know enough about her either because I don't watch a lot of Marvel. And the reason why I don't watch a lot of Marvel is something that we just touched on was like they don't have enough. They have superheroes that you follow the whole way through. They don't have villains that you follow the whole way through. That's what keeps you watching TV shows. That's what keeps you watching other stuff like that. Like that happens in this show. Like that's why I stick with certain things. So they don't have a lot of that stuff. So I'm kind of confused watching it. It was cool. It had like elements of like people punching each other in the face and stuff like that I like. And so I was fine with it. But that was kind of it. You know what I mean? That was kind of all. And so I think this one is like a 75 for me.
Wow.
All right.
Fair enough. More than fair.
Let's go to Cody.
Give me a couple pounds.
I gotta save this movie. No, I'm just kidding.
Like
Maybe, and here's the thing: I tried to watch this time with the mind of don't be a fanboy over this movie, don't be a fanboy over Florence Pugh, stop falling in love with a girl that you're never gonna meet in real life. So like I watched this in a different mindset, and I still just found myself. And maybe it's just more of who I am as a person that, I mean, me, myself, and my friend group that I try to be the comic relief sometime. I felt like this movie had a insane amount of one-liners that could have been spread out across 7 different movies and hit and made just as much of an impact. And
I was going to start talking about fallopian tubes.
Yes. Like that entire conversation of like, they just go in there and they cut it all up. And then they, there's so much that happened in this movie and so many parts that there's just too much for me to even recollect. Like every single person could say like a funny part and we'd probably have to go through twice to get through all the moments that we can remember. And the casting of Florence Pugh was phenomenal. The casting of, again, I apologize, I can't remember his name, but the dad,
David Harbour.
Yes, yeah. David Harbour. Like he played that character to perfection. And
the scene of him putting on his suit.
Yes, the scene of him putting on his suit. The scene of him being like, even before she started talking about the fallopian tubes, of like he was happy he got rescued and all this stuff, and even I think I got a bigger respect for him playing that character after watching the making of, because you saw him understand the character. Like he understood this guy is totally absorbed, like all wants to talk about himself and be proud of himself, but also doesn't know who he is. Like he has no identity other than I'm big Russian superstar. And so there's so many aspects.
Captain America.
Yeah, there's so many aspects of this movie that I fell in love with.
Oh, that was bad. Calling the Crimson Dynamo was that was a dig, boy.
So I could talk about this movie all day. I'm gonna give this movie a 99.
Nice.
99.
99.
Wow.
Bringing it up.
See if Dave gives it an 86 to get smart.
Yeah, I'm giving it fewer Luftballoons than that.
Dun, 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 dun.
I enjoyed it. I did. I'm glad I watched it. I haven't seen a single MCU movie or show I haven't enjoyed yet, although I have put off watching What If. Animated shows to me are a whole different genre, and it just feels like a weird thing.
It is weird.
It was very, and I mean this I mean this very literally. It was dark, not in terms of tone, but in terms of lighting. I mean, maybe that was because so much of it was in Budapest and just, running through buildings and running through it, and it, which is fine. That can be a perfectly valid tone for a movie, and I've seen some great movies that way. It just felt a little long. Casting was its strongest suit. It was very well cast. I love the flirtation after all the years between David Harbour and Rachel Weisz's characters. That was cute. That was well handled.
Yeah,
you don't see the resemblance?
I loved the guy that was providing Natasha with her stuff.
Yes.
He was fun. He was a good small character that really worked extremely well. A lot of small things to like that didn't make up for some of the big things that were just sort of plotting and obvious, and I don't know, it felt a little sub MCU level that I'm used to seeing. So it's like I said, I enjoyed it. I'm not going to slam it. It was a solid 75.
75. There we go.
All right.
That is a shit plan.
I do agree with what a lot of what Dave just said. I mean, I haven't found a bad movie or show in the MCU. I like it, and I will compliment Cody's 99 with an 86.
Well, there you go. Consider yourself complimented.
And we have a few in the.
Once it gets smart.
We have a few here. We've got Adam hates rating an MCU movie so low, but this didn't have the feel of Marvel movie. Came out a year too late. The acting was so. Also, it's not their fault. It came out a year late. Also, the Taskmaster reveal really pissed me off because it deviated from the comics. 66. He gave it an upside down 99. and he didn't end in a 5 or a 0.
That's shocking.
And in the theme of sticking to double numbers, my mom gave it a 77.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Not a big fan of these type of movies, but hey.
Well, how about that? And then that's
go.
me. You know, as at first watch, I agreed probably more with what people have been saying. I think it's definitely a movie that it deserves a repeat viewing. You know, within its place in the Marvel universe, it is an amazingly funny movie. There are amazingly great lines in this movie. It's not Iron Man. It's not, right. It didn't break any doors. There wasn't any great reveals that made you go, oh, this was so worth watching. Because it opened, you know, gave you so much more information about Black Widow. No, I mean, it's nice. It's nice to have. It's nice that they made a movie. It's too bad they waited till after they killed off the character to go back and make the movie. But I don't hold that against the movie. That's more of just where it sits in the timeline.
It's like City Slickers too, you know.
Exactly, and the prequel. No, but I feel like you know, when I eventually do my next 24 movie rewatch. And watch this where it belongs in the timeline. I think it's going to fit in great, and it'll be long term. It'll be a nice piece of cinema to go within the universe where it belongs in the timeline. I ended up at a 90. I said for me, it's I love it, but I don't. You know, it's not like, oh my gosh, you have to see this with like an Iron Man, right? Where it's like this is the way to open your door to get you excited about this universe. No, it's not that, but it fits so well, and I'm glad that they at least gave her a movie just a little too late.
I'll be funny. I thought there were funny moments in it and some great lines. I didn't really find it to be that funny of a movie, not compared to things like, say, Guardians of the Galaxy.
No,
Iron Man. Well, you said it was amazingly funny. I think.
Well, it depends. It depends on what kind of humor you like, right? Like to me, it's okay. It's not a flat out comedy. But the fact that it is, if you listen to all the lines, there's an amazing amount of humor hidden within this movie. How's that? Is that a better way to put it?
I would say no more than your typical MCU film, though. I mean, there were funnier scenes in Ragnarok. There were funnier scenes.
But those are, to me, Ragnarok is a flat out comedy. It's more of a comedy than an action movie.
Yeah.
You know, Ragnarok is funny. Like every character.
What about Iron Man?
In
there
there
were funnier scenes in Iron Man.
What seems funnier in Iron Man?
I wouldn't say funnier. I would say.
Oh, I would. His entire testing out of the suit was just.
Yeah, you know, but okay.
I found Iron Man. I mean, again, I'm not trying to talk you out of your opinion. I was just all surprised to hear you say that because I didn't really find it to be that.
Iron Man has a lot of sight gags, right? You know what I mean? Like funny stuff that way. Like, oh, like you go slam into a wall or whatever.
Well, the entire opening scene with him in the Humvees with the soldiers was just hysterical.
Yeah. So, but I mean, I feel like the comedy is spread out throughout this movie between all the characters, right? I feel like there's a lot of great character lines in this movie from Florence Pugh, from David Harbour, from Black Widow, right? You're getting a lot of these, and they're asides, right? They're you know, if you're not paying attention, they're lines that might just go right by, and you didn't even like realize what.
But Eric, did you notice them the first time you saw it, or is it something you noticed the second or third? Because maybe that's why Dave doesn't think it's as funny.
I think I learned to appreciate them more. You know, the more times I've seen it.
Oh, I saw them. I don't think I missed a whole lot of them. I don't know. Perhaps I just felt that was a pretty minor part of the movie, all told. I mean, I realize it's not MCU, but if I think of funny Marvel movie, Deadpool is the top of the heap.
See, that's a comedy.
That's on a whole nother level, though.
Yeah,
it is. Yeah,
for a movie that was.
But Eric went out of his way during his review to talk about how hysterically funny this movie was.
This movie was hysterically funny.
I think there are so many quotable lines from this movie. You know, I think repeat viewings you'll appreciate more of the lines that are in there.
Could be.
Because the bottom line is once you've seen it, right, you're no longer watching it for the story. you're no longer watching it to see what happens and what they do with people, and you're able to just watch it and realize how much humor they inserted into this amongst the story. You know, I mean, there are just a lot of there's a lot of comedy in there. You know, that's just my takeaway. I found it very funny on my third watching. I was like, oh my gosh, this is actually a really funny movie. But I mean, you know, I think it does have it. You have to simmer on it a while. So, all right. So, nonetheless, we should move on to maybe a movie that somebody would find funnier. I don't know. That would be Cruella, also 2021, PG-13. Hello, cruel world. Emma Stone, Emma Thompson, all the other Emmas. You know, I couldn't find a for sure budget. Everywhere between 100 to 200 million. I'm guessing closer to 200 million. Worldwide gross is kind of hard to detect on this as well because it really did not get to theater as well. But worldwide gross is currently listed at 233 million. Critics at a 74. The audience at a 97.
And it came out on your birthday. Did you notice that? It said May 28th.
How about that? So right for that, it gets 100. No, I'm kidding.
Stacey, you were about to say something.
Yeah, I was to go back to it being funny. We kept saying it was Florence Pugh's lines that were funny. And I think it's because they were building up her character coming up.
No, they definitely were setting her up. So Black Widow ended up with a score of 99. No, I'm kidding. With a score of let's go 88, 81 points.
That's almost the same as Notting Hill.
I believe 88.89. So yeah, actually no, 81.89. Yeah, right in there with Notting Hill is where you're gonna get your Black Widow.
It's 100th of a point higher than Notting Hill.
Wow.
Well, thank goodness. Slightly better.
Yeah.
So Cruella, Wade, we'll go back to you. Tell us what I missed the helicopter in Cruella.
Yep.
They had some nice cars in that one.
They had some wonderful cars. The DeVille is amazing.
And,
some great garbage trucks.
Yeah, I mean, just they
turning radius on those garbage trucks. I'll tell you.
In all seriousness, they were cool garbage trucks.
So when this came out, I'm never a great big fan of the villains like who was the one from Maleficent and things like that. So I wasn't really geared around watching this one or anything. And I think Reagan had saw it and she said it was really good. Yeah. So you know it was free on Disney Plus. So we watched it the one night, and I thought it was really good. And I think the thing that probably grabbed me the most was the music transitions they used to go from places. They just had really good songs, and it just kind of really went with what was going on. And the character kind of developed a little differently than what you would have thought from the cartoon movie.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? So I liked how they kind of took it a different direction instead of just trying to line it right up to fall into 101 Dalmatians, and probably it set up to go on its own direction and do some Cruella movies probably down the road.
Awesome. So is this anybody's first time for Cruella? Dave again, Dan again. My goodness.
It just came out in May.
Well, yeah, I haven't been going to theaters.
Come on.
I've been watching old movies on this this
well, it's true. We have not had many 2021 movies come up on the list.
We've had none. And this week we had 2.
It's craziness.
Insane.
I had to change things up a little bit.
Yeah.
So Cody, you had seen this before.
I have. Once with Reagan before this.
You want to share your thoughts?
Oh, do you want to hear my thoughts? That's the question.
Yeah.
We were so quiet for Black Widow.
I know.
So I figured maybe you'd start and then we'll see if people agree or disagree with you.
In my mind, I expected more out of this movie. I expected it to be, I feel like it was, and maybe I'm being harsh. I feel like the movie was confused with itself. I feel like it didn't know if it wanted to be a comedy or like a drama, like, you know, almost like a mystery movie, like for at least the one aspect of it, her trying to figure out who she was and everything else, even though we knew as the audience what was happening. I felt like it was such an awkward, in my mind, it was an awkward balance between the two, and I didn't enjoy it as much as I thought I was going to. and it felt dragged out. I felt like there was I mean, even like Dave said earlier, you take 10 minutes off of this movie, I think it would have made a big difference. And I would agree on that 100% with this movie. I felt like there were some scenes that were just added in there just to be in there. And that didn't add any depth to any characters or didn't add any depth to the plot. There were just some things showing you little behind the scene things of what she was doing or this or that. I wasn't impressed by this movie. And again, I think one way that it could improve is if maybe I go back and watch it followed by and then immediately watch 101 Dalmatians. Maybe I could get some kind of connection there and enjoy it better.
Well, that's what got me for it. Yeah.
Fair. I haven't done that yet, and it's been years since I've watched 101 Dalmatians. So, because are we rating? Do you want my number?
No, not rating.
Okay,
just
good.
Conversation.
So did you find it predictable at all? I mean, I kind of thought when I went in watching it, I was expecting one thing and I got something different.
Oh, okay, so you were prepared that was her mom, and you were prepared that she had killed her mom, and you were. None of that was shocking.
I had a strange feeling.
Spoiler, by the way.
Yeah, I had a strange feeling when watching it that I was like, it's like there has to be some kind of twist here, and that was the only one that made sense.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Interesting. All right. So Adam shares in the comments that, not to mention, they totally crapped all over the Cruella character in 101. She's very mean, an evil character, and in this, she's made out to be a hero. Well, and that's kind of part of the question, right? Like, I thought it was interesting that it's like, people need a villain, and I'm happy to play the role, right? When they asked if she had actually made the coat out of the Dalmatians.
Mm-hmm. I think that's a good point that he brings up, but I don't think that's what they intended. I think she's still a crappy person. She's still Cruella. She's not a hero. I don't take her as a hero. And I don't know if it's because of my knowledge of 101 Dalmatians, and I just kept that in my mind. I thought she's a little snot.
Yeah.
And crappy things happen to her, but she's still evil. And that's why if that's why she's evil, that's why she's not a hero. She didn't do anything. I mean, her real mother was a crappy person and she beat her, but so what? Because she villains got even lower. Yeah,
that's all that happened.
Yeah, so I don't think that changed her character at all. I think she's still not a hero.
She's a lot more mean in 101 Dalmatians, if I remember correctly, than she was in this. She got snobby with her friends.
Yeah,
a little bit, but that was nowhere near the extent that it was in 101 Dalmatians.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, they definitely.
There needs to be a filler movie. We need Cruella 2 to make sense.
because in between, they called her on being a jerk, but yet in 101 Dalmatians, they're still there.
And in 101 Dalmatians, they wouldn't even stick up for themselves.
Right.
No, they're just completely under her thumb. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I don't see that happening based on this movie. If that's how it
and they could take, they could remake 101 Dalmatians with this movie.
No.
Like Cody was saying, though, with the Marvel stuff, one of the things he likes about the MCU is they don't hold themselves slave to the comics. You're talking about a movie from 60 years ago.
Mm-hmm. From a book.
Well, I realize it was from a book, but still, they could use this property for something different, or they could just try to live within that same confines. And they made a decision that not everyone's going to agree with.
They didn't come out and say this is a prequel to the cartoon movies.
That's right. Here's one that's even better. Stop remaking Disney movies. I will stop going to Disney World. Yeah. I will stop going to Disney World if you remake a movie one more time.
Those remakes of movies are doing very well for Disney.
They're making Disney piles of cash.
I mean, people are
keeping the prices down at the park. Do you know how expensive the park would be? It'd be $900 a ticket if these movies didn't make money.
The only remake I didn't like was Mulan.
$800.
I hated every single one.
Oh, did you see Pete's Dragon?
No. The Pete's Dragon remake was rough.
They completely threw out the source material. There was nothing left of it, really.
That's too bad.
Didn't they do 102 Dalmatians as a sequel?
Yes, they did.
With
the Glenn Close series that was the first reboot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't there way more than 102 though?
Yeah, they had.
That's what made me mad.
2 cartoon movies. They had 101 Dalmatians. They had 102 Dalmatians, was the cartoon, and then they had 2 or 3 Glenn Close. Live action ones.
Yeah.
And then they made Cruella.
Mm-hmm. All right, I'm gonna bring it around and say I love this movie. To me, this movie
was really
is,
good. I do have to say.
I would watch this over Shawshank Redemption. To me, this movie, I love the music. I love the music of this movie. I love the storytelling. I love her performance is crazy good as Cruella. I love
both Emmas are good.
I love the way that she like goes after her in those scenes and the rock concert and the just all of it is just it's delicious. The music is so amazing in this movie. Some of the filmography where they're just doing like these extended one shots, which are not real one shots. There's all sorts of digital stuff happening in there.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just cool. It's trying to be cool. It feels cool. And whether you like that or not, probably depends on whether you like this movie or not. But I just loved it. Like to me, second time was even better than the first. And it's fantastic to me. I love this movie. I love what they did. I love that they gave you this. I love that it's like, oh my gosh. And then she gives them the puppies at the end, right? And I'm not really a big fan of either one of these stars. But I love this movie.
Well, I just have a rule that one Emma, not enough. 3 Emmas, too many. 2 is perfect. You have 2 Emmas in a movie. Yeah. That makes a film.
Wow.
Yeah.
And Glenn Close,
I kind of liked Wink in the movie too. He was pretty funny. Especially when he was dressed up as a rat and jumped on that guy and then takes off. That was pretty cool.
By the way, Glenn Close was actually an executive producer of this movie.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, wow. That's cool.
And Emma Stone was not allowed to portray Cruella smoking, as she previously had been, since Disney has banned characters from being shown smoking in all their films since 2007.
Yeah. She was drinking a couple times.
Oh, you can drink.
Which is weird when you're making a period piece.
Yeah, in the 70s, people smoked a lot.
I
remember.
It'd be like trying to make a movie in Paris with nobody smoking.
Or that would be like making a movie in Paris with nobody French.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, you should watch Ratatouille. It's the same. Nobody smokes in Ratatouille. I'm almost positive.
And if they went on a roller coaster in Ratatouille, they could be French.
They drank wine, but they didn't smoke.
It's true.
If you put anyone on a roller coaster, they become French.
Really?
Wee wee.
Oh, dad jokes.
Wow. Cross that off the list of one joke you've been waiting to tell.
All right.
That's awesome.
Did they pee themselves at the same time?
Maybe. Who knows?
Wee wee.
That was a good one. I like that.
Oh, there we go.
We're workshopping.
Yeah, keep working on it. Yeah, keep going back.
Wait for Pepe to plute.
And then
What about Pepsi Le Pew?
I was waiting for him to come through.
you need to do a yes and with that.
I'm so bad at improv. I do no but. All right. Shall we score?
Sure. Let's do this thing.
We're gonna score tonight. Grease 2. Thanks.
Wow, is that really?
I thought it was another EriDan song.
We're gonna score.
It could happen. All right, Dan, do the round table. Do it.
All right, here we go. Let's go random and start with Dave Ella.
Whoa. Okay. I enjoyed it. It was better than Black Widow. It had some the music. I agree with the music. It was fun. It was certainly not one of those movies as Margaret said, it was not one of those movies where the soundtrack is in the background. The soundtrack is very much in your face in this movie.
It's a character in itself. Which
some people will like and some will not. But I enjoyed it, especially when it's music that's from an era that I know well and enjoy. It was as mentioned, it was a little overly long. Not a lot, you don't have to trim much, but some of the scenes went on a bit too long. Casting was generally good. I did not understand her head of security at all. Someone as demanding as her to have a head of security as utterly worthless blob of jelly like he was just bizarre. She would never put up with the head of security as utterly incompetent as him for more than 5 seconds. So I didn't understand that whatsoever. Artie was really fun. Enjoyed Artie. Enjoyed Horace and Jasper, and enjoyed this sort of homage to the original film with that, even though As Stacy pointed out, they don't seem to be exactly the same character because their relationships are completely different. But no, it was fun. It was not one I would go out of my way to watch, but I'd watch it again. I'll give it a 82.
Nice.
All right, let's go over to. It's not working. There it is, Cody.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no. Oh no. No.
It's gonna be Cody's lowest score.
It is. I don't even know what my lowest score is actually, so I don't know for sure.
Well, we're about to find out.
You just have to go rewatch Howard the Duck.
I've never seen Howard the Duck, so
Yeah.
I saw that on the list and I was happy I missed it.
It's a good base movie.
It sets your floor, so you weren't know where to go from.
That did set the floor.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like if this was on TV one day, I'd rather fall asleep than watch it. I'd probably rather kick my foot against the chair than watch it. I'd probably rather do anything than watch this movie.
My.
And that's just because I can also entertain myself with simple things that are more entertaining than that movie was, in my opinion. I felt it was long. I felt it lacked consistency. I felt that, again, it didn't know what it wanted to be. I felt like they tried too hard to make it funny when I compare it to a movie like Black Widow, where it was just naturally like I was laughing every 2 to 3 minutes just because of one line. So because of all that and just not very impressed with it, I have to give it a 68.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, that is by far his lowest score.
All right, I'm going to go next just because why not? I actually want to watch this again. This is one of the first movies that I feel like I missed some of it. So I do think it was good. I do like the whole 70s vibe. And I do think it was well cast, like Dave said. And I disagree with Adam. Adam says Disney needs to stick to animation.
True.
Well, all Disney? Because Pretty Woman, if I'm not mistaken, was a Disney movie.
He's specifically talking about the retellings.
Oh, the retelling. Gotcha. Yeah, have they done a Seven Dwarves yet?
Yep.
Have they done a live action version of that?
The Seven Little People.
It's
Come
different, but Emily
Seven Little
Blunt's in
People.
it.
Sorry.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I feel it's a solid C plus B minus. I'm gonna go 80, right down the middle of a C plus B minus. That's where I'm gonna leave it.
There you go.
Riders.
Right. Us.
Riders.
Yeah, it was. Now, if it had a helicopter in it, we would be 100 on that one. But I did like it. I mean, I liked it the first time I saw it, and I was eager to watch it again. So, what better way to make it a movie that we all have to watch? See, Stacy wasn't as interested as I was. Maybe it was from the movie, or the music was from like my generation, a lot of it. So I kind of got to that. And when you watch it the second time, it does seem to be a little better. They move a little faster too. So
That's true.
I'm gonna give it a 95.
Nice.
Wow. Well,
I've never
actually,
seen somebody do a triple. Stacy just did a triple eye roll. I've never seen a triple. Congratulations.
I guess you've not seen the footage of Melania from the World Series game then.
Right.
it was a well-made movie. And Emma Thompson, oh my God. Well, our daughter Emma is really named after her. I mean, she's not named after her. So
She's a good one.
I do like her a lot. And the clothing, she walked out in that one tweed or whatever plaid thing with the cape, and I went, oh, she looks fabulous. So it was just, that was good. I think the reason I didn't like this movie is because it is about Cruella. It is dark. I liked her backstory, even though it didn't mesh with the 101 Dalmatians, Cruella and Horace and them. They did a good job with the storytelling, I think. It was predictable that was really her mom, but there's a reason people are cruel and mean, and that makes sense. And you have to have a story somehow, and there's only like 8 story plots in the whole universe, and they keep getting repeated. So that happens. But I thought it was beautifully made. It was just really dark. So I'm going to give it an 85 just because I didn't like the dark aspect of it.
Yeah, I mean, have mixed feelings about it because like I already established, despise the remakes that Disney does because they're pointless. Stop doing it. I understand that they make money, but it is so stupid. And I've seen a handful of them and I hated every single one. So whenever I heard Cruella was coming out, I wasn't going to watch it. And then something kind of triggered me to be like, maybe I should watch it. And me and Cody were just hanging out one day. We were like, let's do it. And we actually had to watch it in 2 parts because it was so long. But so that is one thing that I didn't like about it. And it was a little extra dark. There were some pieces that confused me because I was so heavily like 101 Dalmatians growing up. Like I watched it a lot, and I watched it 2 weeks before we watched it the first time. Cruella, that is. But there was also so much that was actually really, really good. Like it was set up really nicely. I think that it was long enough that it could confuse the plot so that you are surprised in some points. And it was set up a lot like I, Tonya. It was actually directed by the same guy that did I, Tonya, actually. But I really liked that movie because of the way that it was set up. And so this kind of just was perfect that it was set up the same way. It was just really good. Obviously, Emma Thompson is somebody that we all like in our family. And like I felt the same ways about her. But I do think like with all of the stuff from 101 Dalmatians just kind of peeking in, like I agree with having a filler movie, but it made me feel more sad for Cruella de Vil in the 101 Dalmatians because you can see where she came from. Now I see her as this, like, in 101 Dalmatians, as this deeply depressed woman who tried to get this movie. Like, she gets to that point and she just goes downhill from there because that's not what you're supposed to look for in life. You know what I mean? And it just makes me really sad for her character in 101 Dalmatians. But you can see how Horace and Jasper, like their beginning, and you can see how eventually there's kind of like whatever. You know what I mean? There's just so much stuff that was really, really cool being such a big fan of 101 Dalmatians that made me really, really love it. So I think I'm in the middle. I think I'm going to go with a 90.
I do agree with you about one thing. I think that's one thing this movie had over Black Widow is that it had a more experienced director, and I think it showed.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right. Who's left?
Well, your mom just shared.
Oh, yeah. My mom loved Cruella. Watched it twice.
Wow. Good job.
Give it a 96.
96.
I'm gonna have to
Which
watch
would
this
be the
next time.
highest score, except our friend Denise had sent me. She did not watch Black Widow, but she adores Cruella and wanted to be sure to send a score of 98. 98 for Cruella from Denise. She was unable to join, but she loves Cruella, so she gave it a 98. I think I understand what everybody's saying. Obviously, I said I love it. I gave it a 94. I think it's so enjoyable. It's such a good time. I agree with people saying.
52,
I do not.
Yes.
You like that.
Yes.
52.
He didn't even need to explain anything.
Adam, we knew Adam wouldn't like this.
No, this was a rough one
I
for
wasn't sure.
Adam. But all in all, the movie was blah. There you go. Adam's comment. So that ends Cruella with an 84 with our overall scoring. It brings it right above Ferris Bueller's Day Off. So
Ties with Young Frankenstein.
Yeah.
And What's Up, Doc? And It's a Mad.
Oh, it's a tie. It's the 84 tie.
There was one thing I forgot to mention that it's not a big thing, but it did bug me, which is apparently the law in the UK in those days moved with amazing rapidity. So she is seen pushing this woman, pushing her daughter off the edge. And apparently within a record period of time, she is found guilty. Somehow she is, despite the fact that she's still alive, stripped of all of her property that would then go to her daughter. And then this will is somehow found to be valid, and all the stuff goes to Cruella. And it looked like about a week. Which is
30 seconds.
Well, the police were so incompetent throughout the movie, they finally got themselves together at the end.
With the wealth and power that the Baroness had, that would have dragged on for years.
Well, yeah.
Well, that's when you suspend your disbelief.
I agree. Like I said, I didn't knock at any points for that. It just did bug me.
You already thought the movie was too long. Do you wanted them to add an extra 20 minutes of the 2-year litigation?
That would be the second movie. It's the court. The second movie would be like 12 angry Cruellas. It would be just
nice. I like. Well, some people might like that better.
It has to be 101 angry Cruellas.
There you go.
All right. So
about the music, and I do have one thing I forgot to say. The only song that I thought, what the heck are they playing this one for, is Working at the Car Wash.
Oh, yeah.
That was a little strange. I do agree with you there.
I was like, why is it in the apartment? Whatever. And Reagan said,
So you brought up Denise's score, and I remembered, because I hate remakes so much, I was like, why did I end up actually wanting to watch this movie? Like, I genuinely did. Whenever Cody was like, hey, we should watch this, I genuinely did. And it was because Denise said that she really wanted to watch it because she heard that it was different than the remakes. And so I looked into it and I found out that it was. So it was Denise's fault for letting me watch it.
No, Denise gets credit.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like
That's
that.
why I wanted to.
All right. So Dan and I had an executive board meeting.
Yes, it's earlier today.
Did you have quorum?
And made a decision that for December, for November, since we know December is coming up, and we'll be doing all Christmas movies during December. We thought it would be fun. Holiday movies. You're right. I'm sorry. For November, we would do an entire Viewer's Choice month. So all month long, we're gonna ignore the regular wheels. We're going to just ask the people who are watching or in the chats, or obviously with us on air, if they want to participate, and we're gonna put your name on the wheel, and we're gonna spin, and we're gonna let you choose the movie for all through November.
Now, are we doing the Viewer's Choice where it was last at, because it was just you and Adam?
Nope, that's the double feature. We're saving that. We won't bring that back until January, where me and Adam will get a chance to be a part of that. But no, this is going to be for everybody involved.
Okay. I'm sorry, I fell asleep during that part of the meeting.
Yeah, sorry, that's all right. I understand. It was a very long meeting.
We had the guest speaker come in and talk about the benefits, and
exactly. There were pie charts.
The guy from HR came by, and then
there was a Venn diagram. It was very
CFO
intense. So Dan, we need to know if Dan's mom wants to join in, if she wants to pick a movie for next week. We need to know if Adam. We assume that Adam wants to be involved, but of course, if there's anybody with us here who does not, please speak your mind or forever be on the wheel. And we'll give you a chance to choose the movie.
Well, I have one movie I 100% want on the wheel, so I wanted to be the next week's movie, so I do want to be on it.
There you go. Adam is definitely in.
Grease 2, huh?
Should be. You never know.
Tonight.
Anything.
We're gonna rock. We're gonna roll.
I was getting my hair cut today, and the woman cutting my hair goes, "Why don't they play Xanadu on the radio more often?"
Wow.
And Olivia Newton-John song came on, which is why she said it. But
wow.
Xanadu.
Yeah.
That's all I remember.
It's real. Xanadu.
Gene Kelly was in that, right?
Yeah. What a way to go out. I mean, man.
Ouch.
I never saw that one.
Well,
I saw it once,
pick.
which was once too many.
We did it locally here at the theater. They did a great job of it.
Yeah, I saw a show in Pittsburgh. Them do a live performance in Pittsburgh. It was excellent. It's actually a great
stage play
show.
Yeah.
Very enjoyable. The movie
ELO. I mean, it's good music.
All right, Dan, are we leaving your mom on the wheel? She has not responded.
Ma.
Come
Sue
on.
Rosenberg. I call her Sue Rosenberg. Sue Rosenberg, what are you going to do?
All right, while we wait for your mom, I'm going to jump out here because I realized I can't share my screen.
The best exotic Marginal Hotel.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. So that'll be what she chooses if her name comes up on the wheel. That's not where she's staying at the moment.
I was like, where are you?
We have that one on Blu-ray.
India.
Eric, do you want me to do it?
I've got it. I just can't share it. I've got the wheel set up with everybody's name. You're just going to have to trust me. All right. I'm going to clock out. I'll clock out because I know nobody trusts.
All right. While Eric's doing that, we're not. I don't think we'll have time after this is all done to do what else you're watching. But I was very lucky. I got to go see the Blair Witch Project on Saturday with one of the guys that created it. He lives here on the island, and so they did like a fundraiser and showed the movie. And my wife had never seen it.
Oh.
And she thought it was really funny.
Oh, wow.
She was amazed how funny it was. We're talking about Blair Witch Project.
No, there you go. I thought you were back to Black Widow again.
Dan, when I was teaching at ITT, we'd just gotten computers in the library there. Seriously, it was 1998.
Yeah.
1998. And one of the guys, he was from New Brighton, he came in, Mrs. Ryder. You should, this movie, it's crazy. This really happened. He believed it.
Yeah. Well,
oh my gosh, my brain hurt. I said, honey, it's not real. It says on the internet. It was the first time I ever heard somebody say, it says on the internet it's real. Well, and I wanted to like
here's what's crazy about that is one of the director, writer, editors, Dan Merrick, he and his wife live here on Bainbridge, and my wife sold them a house. And so they're talking, and one of the houses that she showed them had this really creepy, weird house in the back. And she didn't even know that that's who this guy was. And the house looks like the house in that. And then when she came home and told me, I said, oh, I taught him in traffic school in Orlando before the movie came out. He was in one of my traffic school classes, and he was talking about this movie they had coming out. And his wife, she was on the production team for a year before they came out with the movie. She was online writing these fake articles so that when people would search for the Blair Witch, they would find this old stuff.
It was doofus believed everything she wrote.
I don't know if it was the first found footage film, but it was certainly the first really successful found footage film.
Yeah, they spent like $20,000 to make this movie, and it brought in like 450 million or some crazy number. And the other thing that was funny is one of the stars of the movie was interviewing people at the movie premiere, and she said to the guy, she goes, "So do you think that was all true, a true story?" He's absolutely. She goes, "Really? You think all those actors are dead now?" And he's like, "Of course they are." And she's the one interviewing him. And she's like, "Huh, okay."
That's amazing.
She's a good actor.
Yeah.
Actress, I mean.
We have Cindy Tanner. Would like to
Cindy,
be on the wheel.
we'll put your name on the wheel. Absolutely, Cindy.
Mom!
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, we'll put her on the wheel. I'm going to share this.
3 people's moms on the show.
Oh, look at my little baby niece in that picture.
Oh, nice.
So there's the Black Widow helicopter Lego set.
It's not the same helicopter that was in the movie.
No, it's not. It's not movie accurate. But it is adorable, and it comes with a little Yelena. So come on.
And it's temporarily out of stock. Oh man,
I know. I do have one already.
That's because Eric bought all of them.
I did buy a couple.
He bought 3. One to play with.
I did used to work on helicopters just like that, real ones, not the Lego kind.
All right, are we gonna do this? Are we spinning? Are we leaving your mom on the wheel, Dan?
Yes, my mom.
Oh yeah, because that's right. She has
put Cindy. Did you add Cindy to the wheel?
She has an idea, so she's on the wheel.
Cindy to the wheel. So look
I do not appear to be on the wheel, but
you do not.
Oh, where's Dave? Dave.
Oh, look at that. Oh, that's what I did. Sorry about that, Dave. It is a
it's a work in progress.
Yeah, everybody's got to pay attention.
And it's Blackhawk colors. Good choice.
It is Blackhawk colors. I thought everybody, not the Western Pennsylvania people would appreciate.
And look, you can get 0% for 72 months on a Ram.
Ooh,
there is.
If you're wanting to buy a Dodge.
It's a Ram now. They got rid of the Dodge.
Yeah, I know they're Ram now. Yeah,
they're Ram tough. All right, are we doing this?
Here we go.
All right, let's find out who gets to pick next week's movie. Here we go. Here we go. Oh man, it's spinning a lot. It's spinning a lot. It's a lot of spinning. And I'm getting a little nauseous, and it looks like it's Wade.
Wade.
I have an idea.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Wow. Wade, you've got so much luck.
It's the Wade triple feature.
Will we be watching Black Hawk Down by any chance?
I think Apocalypse Now is coming up. Very helicopter heavy. Any Vietnam film will do.
Yeah. Godzilla. No.
Yeah, there were some good airplanes in that one. Okay, how about October Sky?
Wow.
Okay.
That's a good one.
That is a
I've
good one.
seen that. About that. Excellent.
Based on a true
Guy
story.
in November. Good choice.
Is it a true story? Is the cast alive from that?
No, they're all dead.
Oh, man.
He works for NASA, Homer Hickam.
He used to.
Wow. Well, there we go. I know nothing about October Sky.
Oh,
So
really?
excited.
Oh, you're gonna like it.
Is it the sequel to Vanilla Sky?
It's not too bad.
No,
That was chocolate.
most definitely not.
It's
I would
so
like
good.
to. I would like to share one quick thing before if we're gonna do what else you're watching. If we have 15 minutes left, if we want to do it, it's totally up to you guys. But did anybody watch all of Clutch Radio by any chance on Saturday? Because we had something really weird happen at the very end.
No,
No.
we didn't
So
watch it.
we went driving around in this nice Audi all-road. A friend of ours is selling it. It's gorgeous, all-wheel drive, little station wagon, stick shift, which they didn't make many of, and it's going to go up for auction next week. But we decided to stop at that little junkyard full of cars that were at the week before or 2 weeks before
Yeah.
because there was Adam just ruined it. Thanks, Adam. There was a 69 Ford Galaxy convertible we were interested in, and I'm like, let's go check it out, see if it's still there, and maybe we'll make an offer. So we did get a better look at it, and it's very choppy because we had it, but you have to just listen. We're trying to roll the window up.
Oh no.
Well, look how thick that window is, man.
It's not
Did you hear
doing-
that?
Is it playing? No,
It's not
it goes for
playing.
me.
There's audio. You can't hear it.
Can't hear anything.
It's not even moving.
No, we're
I
not
know
getting-
it's all
we're not
showing.
getting the
There's no
audio.
moving. It's only audio.
Yeah, we're not getting the audio.
No.
Oh. Well, let's start that. Well, the window's shattered.
Oh, no.
I went to roll up the window because the window's down, and they always like leave like all these cars out in these fields, and like the window's down. I'm like, put the window up. So we go to roll the window up, and Rafi, oh, it's off track, and he moves it a little bit, and as I'm rolling, it just shatters like the backboard, like a slam dunk. And I'm like, I think we just bought it.
Did you?
No,
Did you have to- okay.
no, we went up and we told the lady, we told the lady whose dad was the one who's getting rid of all this junk, and she's like, oh, who gives a crap? She's like, you probably added value to it somehow.
That's a nice reaction.
Yeah, so we were really worried. We went and told them what happened, and I thought we got great video of it, and we didn't. It was very because there's no internet connection there, so all there is the audio. You can definitely hear it. But yeah, and thank you, Adam, for saying Rafi broke it. Really, I broke it. I would say. But yeah, that was a fun time, and there probably will not be a Clutch Radio this Saturday, or there'll be a best of because Rafi's in Michigan because his daughter is in a master's program. She's an opera singer.
Wow.
Her name is Aria.
Oh
Yeah,
man!
she's an opera
So she had no choice, like Mr. Bookman.
Listen here, funny boy. Yeah, I should have named Josh Monologue.
Or
Rocky
Wealth.
did cut his finger, but it did not bleed that much. It was a very small
Okay.
cut.
Well, that is good. So October Sky, like streaming everywhere.
Good.
And
Is
Peacock.
that Jake Gyllenhaal?
Yes.
Yes.
it is.
A very young Jake Gyllenhaal.
He's so
Oh.
cute.
I've never seen this movie, so
Look at that. And
So good.
that poor woman looks like she's screaming in the background about something. So I'm excited to hear what
Smiling.
Is that Laura Dern?
screaming to the sky.
And the title is an anagram.
Yep.
October Sky.
Yeah, the title. You can scramble those letters to make something else that is essentially what the movie's about.
Oh.
Oh.
No.
Well, there you go. And no
But
spoilers.
thank you, Dave. I didn't know that.
You told me that.
hey, I know we didn't have 5 facts, but Eric, I told you I'd share something about Black Widow.
Oh yes,
Oh, go ahead.
please.
The guy that he arm wrestles and he breaks his arm
Yeah,
is the first confirmed mutant in the MCU. They've already confirmed his character.
really.
Yep.
He's arm broken man.
Yep.
Wow,
Basically.
that's interesting.
He's over.
He has the
top,
ability to
man.
break his
I
arm at
can't
will.
hang on. Who was it? The bear
the over
guy.
the
What's his
top.
name? That's
Bear
why
Grylls.
he called him the Big Bear. Oh crap! Hang on.
I had no
Big
idea.
Bear.
Mutant in
Yeah, we never really learned how the Red Guardian got his strength.
no.
Okay.
Wow.
When he put his uniform on, his old uniform, I
Uh-huh.
was immediately reminded of Mr. Incredible doing the same.
Oh yes.
Ursa. Ursa's his name,
Oh yeah.
Okay.
and he's called he's a
Ursa
he's a
Major.
mutant, and I think he like becomes a bear. basically.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Makes sense if his name's Ursa.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
So he'd be
that's-
Ursa
Anybody
Major.
remember what he had tattooed on his arm? It was just like, why? He had this big penguin, big emperor penguin on his arm.
Really?
Yeah, it's like, why?
That's really fun.
Maybe he was a fan of the comic, Batman comics, like the Penguin.
I guess that could have been it.
Did you catch the I'm not gonna find it. So I thought I'd be able to find an image quicker of the tombstone of Cruella's tombstone at the end of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Did you notice what the tombstone said? I believe it said
Something about bad days are not that bad and good days aren't that good. And whatever Dave said at the beginning of the movie.
what? I'm so confused.
It's a really bad callback. Don't worry about it.
That was a call. Not at the beginning of the show. Dave made a comment. I said it should be on his tombstone.
I believe it was
There was no Black Widow symbol though.
I believe it was something along the lines of designer daughter dead. Is what it said. It's 3 lines. It's one of those things that if you weren't watching for it, it was like an instant. It was like 3 seconds on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
But I did think it was interesting if both of our movies ended with tombstones.
Yeah, that's
the
true.
main character.
Wait, can you imagine if that like Black Widow ending credit scene? Maybe this was the plan, but like before Infinity War, can you imagine if that was the end credit scene?
Oh,
That would be crazy.
that would be crazy.
Yeah.
That would be it'd be confusing too because you'd be like, who is that person? I have no idea what's going on.
Was
Well,
the-
because, no. Like Black Widow would have come out before.
I see what
Infinity
you're
War,
saying.
And then
I think it would have had a different.
I wonder how people would have felt
I
about
think
that.
they wanted to keep her death.
Yeah,
But,
that's true.
that's a whole other conversation about her death in Endgame. But I do have issues with that.
Yeah.
Not that they did it, but there's other stuff. Adam says there's no way Feige was gonna spoil that. Although I feel like there's a lot of attention about Iron Man being dead, and Black Widow was like, oh, that's sad. Okay, let's move on.
Yeah.
Well, Iron Man had the hero moment.
Well, he did. He did have the hero moment, and then that goes all through the next Spider-Man movie, right? Like his death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talking about Iron Man a lot.
Well, he's a much more major character in the MCU. He had 3 standalone movies.
Yeah.
There might be another Black Widow.
Sure. Yeah. Lawsuits always inspire lots of creative collaboration.
It's a prequel.
The question
See,
is, do they start calling Yelena Black Widow? Does Yelena take?
Oh, you
up
think
the
it's going to
Black
be one
Widow?
of those pass it down to the next, like they've done with Spider-Man multiple times situations?
We're getting a new Thor. We got a new Captain America. Why not pass the mantle on, right? And in theory, all of those women are Black Widows.
Yes.
That's
Right?
That's the thing that me and you talked about last week, Eric, was the whole how we hated that in the DC universe on the TV show.
Oh, Black Canary.
Siren or what? Yeah,
Black
Black
Siren,
Canary,
yeah.
whatever it was. There's like 7 of them.
You're a Black Canary. You're a Black Canary. You're a Black Canary. That's great.
Well, it's like the movie Red Sparrow. If you ever seen Red Sparrow with Jennifer Lawrence, yeah.
I haven't seen that one.
Yep, exactly.
The ballet one.
Yes.
Nope.
Okay.
Well, not
amazing.
No, I mean, there's
Well,
ballet
they
in it.
know.
Yeah.
Oh, don't get him started. Don't get me started on the new Thor.
Wow.
Ooh, those guys.
No, I don't. You and Joe go there. I don't want to talk about Natalie Portman as Thor.
Oh.
Don't get me started. All right.
Get me started.
So, anybody watching anything interesting or remotely? There's two movies.
We did
this
watch
week.
The Muppets Haunted Mansion. That was fun.
Oh, what did you think?
It was fun. We enjoyed it.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's. I don't think it's
lots of references to the ride, lots of references to old Muppet stuff, and the only thing that bothered me was Kermit's voice. Just they haven't found a good Kermit yet.
No, they have not found a good Kermit yet.
Most of the voices were fine, but they haven't found a good Kermit.
Isn't it Jim Henson's son? And he's like doing it. It almost sounds like Rich Little doing it.
I think they fired him, didn't they?
I think they did. Yeah, I think he's out. Hello.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's harsh.
Yeah.
So did anybody watch the Light Years trailer?
Yeah, I don't know.
No spoilers.
Speaking of replacing people,
I actually went back. I went back and rewatched 11/22/63 on Hulu. The Stephen King time travel.
It's the
Save Kennedy thing.
Oh, is that what that was?
James Franco.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
No,
11/22/63 was the day he was shot, right?
Well, yeah, but I didn't know that's what the book was exactly about. So
Yeah.
makes
They
sense.
go back in time to try to save Kennedy.
I don't know why you just talked about time travel, and I had a weird flashback to watching a movie that was about time travel. That now I want to know what the name is, and I'm sure one of you knows what it is.
I'll know it.
Somewhere in
Dan will
time.
definitely know it.
It's the
Dan
one
will.
where they travel back in time. I don't remember how they travel back in time, but then basically the one guy winds up being a pivotal person in history who bites the other guy's ear off. I can't remember the plot or like the.
Mike Tyson.
No,
Mike
what
Tyson.
movie? Is it Stuck in Time? Stuck in Time. They go back to like medieval ages or something.
A Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's court.
It was a big like they were.
Isn't that the subplot of Somewhere in Time 2?
What is it? They're like doing
That's
some
what
weird
it was.
excavations and then they go back in time. I don't remember. I remember.
Oh! You're talking about the Michael Crichton movie, Timeline.
I read the book.
Yeah,
Find out.
yeah. They go back in time, and Billy Donnelly is the dad, and they find his glasses in the present, but it's like buried way underneath.
Yeah,
they
Paul
get-
Walker. Yeah. I don't know
Yeah,
why that
timeline.
came. You talked about time travel, and that just Rotten Tomatoes has that movie at a 13%.
Wow.
Oh, Dan's gonna love it.
Well, it's time travel. Dan is gonna love it.
It's time travel. So Wade, what did you think of the Lightyear trailer?
Too fast?
Nah. No, actually, when I saw the cat at first, I thought, is that Goose from Captain Marvel? He's not, because I watched the Easter egg guy that I don't know how he got all this information out of that little trailer. But anyway, it Socks the cat, and he's a robot cat.
Oh, jeez.
But I'm thinking, man, they missed. They could have made him Goose, and then they would have had their own.
They'd have the tie-in.
For that, you know.
I'm excited. I think it's kind of cool that they're making a Lightyear movie. Who knows if it'll be any good? But
Didn't Disney announce they're pushing some of the MCU movies back even further again?
Yep.
Yes.
I think Doctor Strange was pushed back further, and yeah.
It was aggressive. That schedule was so aggressive. It's like you're getting 8 movies a year, and it's like, no, we're not.
Yeah.
No, we're not.
I think at some point we could, but I think I think it would be a lot for them.
It would be a lot. And Chris Pratt is off doing Garfield.
Oh man, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna be Mario, and Jack Black is gonna be Bowser.
That's
I'm
such a good
so
casting.
excited about that.
Garfield? Really? Is he that desperate for a buck that he's doing Garfield now?
You got to cash in, man. When the offers are there.
Wasn't Rick Moranis Garfield in the cartoons?
That's a good
Not
question.
sure.
I think he was.
You
Oh man, you should put that on that. I'm gonna add that to the wheel. Garfield, A Tale of Two Kitties. That's
Sure.
That was
You're going to be the recurring villain on EriDan's.
Why
movie
not?
night?
Why not? That's why I never come up on the wheel.
I just heard a really weird fact on the radio about.
Why are you listening to the radio while we're on the? No, I'm kidding. Good.
My work truck doesn't have freaking Bluetooth, so I got to listen to the radio. But apparently, talking about passing up some money. What's his freaking name? Why am I blanking?
Will Ferrell?
Will Ferrell passed up on.
Yeah. Elf.
Yeah.
Yep.
Elf 2.
No,
I love
Yeah, it was
that
like
he did
27
that.
or 29 million he passed up.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because he said it was too much like the first plot line from the first movie, and he would have had to been honest with the people saying that this movie sucks, but I just wanted money.
I mean, I remember when he came out on Twitter and said that he wasn't doing the sequel because there had been rumors for quite a while, and he said it was something like, "I've done it, I've killed the elf," or something like that, because he had finally said definitively, "No, I'm not doing a sequel," and that was at least 10 years ago or so.
But it is funny that they have not, like, you would expect the studio to go ahead and make Son of Elf.
Could you really do it? I mean,
They made Son of the Mask without Jim Carrey.
I know, and how much money did it make?
Oh, it's terrible. I'm not saying it would be good. I'm not saying.
Well, no, I didn't ask how good it was. I asked how much money did it make. That's what they care about. If they don't think it'll make money without Will Ferrell, they're not going to make it.
Yeah.
How did Evan Almighty do?
Listen,
Well, that at least had a star in it, though,
That one was
because you
cute.
swapped Steve Carell for Jim Carrey.
Steve Carell was not that big of a star yet.
No, he wasn't. But was that before The Office?
I think it was.
It was in the
I
middle of
believe
the
it was.
Or right
See, if it was
before.
The
There
Office,
is
was
a-
already big, I think, by that point. So he
Oh,
was
There's
at
an
least
Elf
a known name.
musical. There's a stage show of Elf.
yeah,
you
we
can
were supposed to
actually-
do that here on Bainbridge before the pandemic.
See?
Yeah.
So there
Well,
we
there's a
go.
stage show. There's a musical of Back to the Future. Come on, you can do
Yes,
anything.
there is. And Shrek. Don't forget, there's a Shrek musical out there.
Oh,
too.
I know. I'm
That
quite
one was
aware.
actually okay. I'm not gonna lie.
Now I know how
Somehow,
much
it
Reagan hates
was
the live
good.
action. I know how much she hates the
Somehow,
live action movies. What do you think about all the stage adaptations of the classic Disney animated features?
I mean, I think it's annoying. I mean, like, why we don't need a Frozen Broadway musical. We don't need. There's just too many.
It's better than Frozen on Ice.
Yeah. I just hate that they have like all this extra stuff for Disney. Like,
Well,
I
the problem was
appreciate
that The Lion King was such a massive success for them that they just went whole hog onto Broadway.
Right. Well, and
If it
I've
had just
seen,
been successful instead of a blockbuster, I think it may have been different, but it was huge.
and I've seen Tarzan on the stage. I've seen countless Disney movies on stage.
Mhm.
And it's just like, I don't know why Disney does that. I understand, like, 'cause
Money.
it's cool to watch, like,
Money.
it's fine, but like it's just
Oh, okay.
it's just weird. It's like, stop doing that.
You want
Okay.
to keep making money. You don't want to just make money once.
It's not just keep making money, and they have so many properties. They want to keep as many as possible in the public eye because that's how you keep the money rolling in. So
That's a very good
they
point.
keep trying to cycle through and keep these various properties current, which is hard to do.
Yeah. And it is funny to me, and this is it's the alarming thing, as you get older, to find that there are kids that grow up today whose favorite Star Wars movies are the first three, and there are kids growing up today whose favorite Disney movies are the new adaptations. And that is 100% true. Where I've talked to parents who are like, "Oh, my kid won't stop watching The Lion King." I'm like, "Oh, really? The animated movie? Oh no, the one that just came out a few years ago." And it's like,
Yeah.
I
oh.
just almost had a seizure because of that comment. Like, you are correct, but I can't handle that.
And
Like,
some of the live action ones are not bad.
Oh.
You
To be
put
honest,
that on.
Cinderella is not a bad live
No.
action remake.
Cinderella was the only one that was okay.
Whoa!
But
I
Lion
love the
King-
new Aladdin.
Nope.
Lion King was
Loved
awful.
the new Aladdin.
No,
Lion King and Aladdin were both terrible.
The Aladdin is really bad.
I
The
loved
Aladdin
it.
is awful
It
bad.
was exactly
Will Smith as
Loved
the
it.
genie was just horrible.
That's
Yes,
like a
I
BBC
love
after
Will
school
Smith.
special.
I love Will Smith too, but not as the genie.
Right? Yep.
He's
No.
made
Nope,
a couple of
nope.
mistakes in his
That
career.
Okay. I've realized my mistake. It is because there's another attractive woman in the movie that I love. It's okay.
No, you can't get caught up in that.
We now know-
She actually played because I'm a listen. You want to talk about geeky? I grew up loving and watching all the Power Rangers, and when they came out with the new Power Rangers movie, and that girl was in that, and then she was in Aladdin, I was like, oh my gosh. Okay, that's all.
Actually, strangely enough, on our work discussion channel this past week, someone started talking about the Power Rangers movie, basically saying this is a movie that is surprisingly good.
It's so
Everyone
good,
will
but nobody
dismiss
watched
it as being garbage, but it is actually a surprisingly good movie.
I have forced 5 of my friends to watch it who said they would never watch it, and all 5 said, "Holy crap, that's an amazing movie!" And I said,
I have heard that from multiple people at
Well,
work
there you
now who
go.
said it's
Wow.
a surprisingly good movie.
Well, we
It's
know what
so
Cody's
good.
going to choose if the wheel lands on him this month.
And by the way, I did the anagram. It's Book Stacy. That's what it spells out.
It is Book Stacy.
Oh
You
man,
figured it
Spelled
out.
without the A.
Is it EY?
No, it's Steci.
oh,
Steci.
what?
There's no A in October Sky. So it's Book Steci.
See, wow.
So we're watching October
Well,
Sky
spoilers.
next week,
Yes, October Sky. It's fantastic,
and we'll hopefully have some.
but it's
great
November.
stories.
I'm so confused.
I know.
And we were just a week late, 2 weeks late, I guess, actually, by the time we
By the time it's
do
all
it.
up,
But
yeah.
close
And
enough.
we're guaranteed that next week's film will not be picked by Wade.
That is true.
This one wasn't either.
But
Uh-oh.
but they all
I
had good
made the final
scores.
decision, so yeah.
I gave him a list.
Nice.
You seem to be outnumbered, Wade.
Is this our first Jake Gyllenhaal movie?
Yeah.
No.
No.
He was in.
I was actually, if my name had come up, I was going to put a Maggie Gyllenhaal movie on the wheels. Or as a
Secretary.
That would have been
Secretary?
interesting.
Wow. I don't even know. I can't even name a Maggie Gyllenhaal movie.
She was
Hard
in
G or
the-
soft G?
Yeah,
GIF
she
or
was in
GIF?
Nanny McPhee.
Dan, what will you?
Stranger Than Fiction.
Will you reveal what you would have chosen if you had gotten? The
Well, I
choice?
might be picked next week, but
Well, it's-
you would have loved it too.
Oh, is it the
That
one
thing
we've
you
been
do.
talking about?
Yeah,
It is that thing you do. Yeah, that would be amazing.
I think either of us will be picking that as our next movie.
It's likely.
That might just be a bonus movie. It's such an awesome movie.
Which movie is that? I missed it. Sorry.
That thing
That
you do.
thing you do.
Ah.
Tom Hanks and a raise of talented young actors. Yeah,
Tom Hanks, Tom
perfect.
Everett Scott.
But October Sky.
October Sky.
Like, awesome. And I have no stand-ups for Jake Gyllenhaal. I'm sorry, there won't be.
There's time.
There's time. I'm sure Amazon does have
You
some.
probably don't also have a stairway that's lined with pictures of Jake Gyllenhaal.
Well, that's the backstairs. And it's not lined with Black Widow pictures. Let's be fair.
It used to be every single picture on there had Black Widow in it.
No, I never. No.
I swear that was true for a while.
No, never all Black Widow. Maybe 4 or 5 out of 10 or 12, but never full Black Widow. Because there was some DC stuff in there. There's a variety. Brooks Dissy.
Oh, I forgot the R.
Yeah, you forgot the R.
No, it's Brooks Dissy.
Yeah, Brooks Dissy.
Oh.
I do have a lovely curio cabinet filled with Black Widow merchandise. That I will. That I will more than own up to.
The fact that you have a curio cabinet.
Doesn't everybody? What's wrong with you?
Oh, you only have one. I'm saying I've got 4.
Oh.
Ah, I see.
I went the other way.
I see where I see where I see.
Yes,
you.
we'll be watching October Sky in the November rain.
Yes.
November snow if you're from Edinburgh.
It's going to be snowing this week.
Wow, we might have record-setting rain to start
You guys
November.
been getting a lot, haven't you?
Yeah, we had gorgeous Saturday and Sunday, but all last week it rained, and all this week it's going to rain. So,
Wow.
all right,
Well, it is that time of year.
yeah,
Yes, it is.
it's the most wonderful time of the year. Well, everybody, we'll see you, I guess, next week. Watching October Sky. Clutch Radio will probably be a rerun or no show. Will not be a live show. And
we are the episode where you break.
well, you
people's
can't
hearts.
see it. That's the problem. It's all choppy.
You have to add an animation, like when they lose the footage for movies.
Your reenactment.
Yes.
Oh, there you
Just the,
go.
noise, just the noise of it shattering was unbelievable.
Yeah, that would have been quite jarring, I'm sure.
And the S bombs that we both dropped.
Shoot.
Son of a
Yes,
gun.
I'm sure that's what it was.
Slivers.
Guest host Ricky Bobby.
Shattered.
Sharp.
Shatner.
It could have been all
Were
of
you
those.
playing the Rolling Stones at the time? Shattered.
No. So, Eric, what are you doing? Are we?
Whoops-a-daisy. Is that what you're thinking? I was thinking whoops-a-daisy was be what you said. There's my Notting Hill reference. All right, I think we're done.
I said,
All
oh,
right.
my stars.
We're done. All right.
Good night.
Good night, everybody. We'll see you Monday. Good night. Emma.
Goodbye.